Hello, everybody. What is good? Monday morning. Pleasant to be with all of you here today. Um, it's a new little show that I thought about creating on Mondays called Shootin The Shit. That's right. Which means where this is an episodes where I will go on well, as I would have to say, it would have to be me going and shooting on people. Go on a shooting on people. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do here. Is we're gonna go on the shooting thing now. Congratulations are in order to the Los Angeles Rams. Super Bowl 56 yesterday. The Rams and their home turf bitch smacked those Bengals, and those Bengals went bye bye. And it couldn't happen. Honestly, I would have went for Cincinnati if it wasn't for the fan base that I know, like some guys I used to know here, I used to roll down the roads with doing the talk trash with the TTC trash talking community. Um, there's a lot of Bengal fans on there that were being hateful, disrespectful. So I hope you're choking on it today. Um, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna see if I can play a clip one of the now Dashy knows that I love him. You know, he got a little emotional yesterday because him and that Bengals team thought they were cocky. Joe Burrow is sitting there thinking that he's Tom Brady when he's not Tom Brady. Walking around there with that little suave look to him. And this is what happened. I don't understand the cuss words to this one, but hopefully it'll play. I guess that's the entire game, and now he also fucking hates us. So as you can see, Dashy was having a little bit of a hard time last night. Actually, it was a really good game, to be honest with you. Probably one of the better Super Bowl games that I've seen in a very long time. It was competitive, back and forth. Referees were actually letting a lot of things go in this game. In particular, the last touchdown the Bengals scored, Higgins grabbed Ramsey's face mask, threw him to the ground, scored a touchdown. And what did they do? They all come onto the field and they start doing the taunting thing. Some guy that's on the Bengals injured reserve comes all the way down from the bench into the end zone and starts dancing around too. Of course you're going to get unsportsmanlike conduct. You goofs. I mean, but what do we know, right? So Cincinnati, going back to the drawing board, as I told Dashy, and as I'm going to tell any Cincinnati Bengals fan, and until you fix your offensive line, Joe Burrow is going to get sacked. My Titans sacked him 9 times. He got sacked, 7 or 8 yesterday? You ain't going to win a football game if you cannot protect your quarterback. I hate to mix it in there for you and do that, but that's the truth. With some cheese on it, dip your nuts in that cheese and come to the realization that your Cincinnati Bengals team is a good young team. Joe Burrow is a great young quarterback. I remember playing a game years ago, playing my junior high school, and getting in a little bit of college ball. I mean, I understand. You have that swagger. You got to have that swagger. You got to have that confidence. But we're about to get into a little bit of what I consider confidence and where I considered annoyingly confident. Now, I was always taught when I did boxing back in the day, Golden Glove, and when I was taking Taekwondo as a kid, and me and my childhood buddy, who we just celebrated our 30 years of being friends. Yeah, it's a big accomplishment because on Friday I just turned 40. Had a couple of my buddies over, my wolf pack, my boys, shooting the shit, burning shit. smoking cigars, drinking, Swede too. I mean, I'm gonna say it on here. Yeah, I mean that happened. Um, I felt bad for Mel because she had to handle all that, but she took it in stride as a woman would. So yeah, but we celebrated our 30 years being friends, and I mean the motherfucker's looking like Captain America now, all ripped up. I'm a staff sergeant. You know, dude, I have never seen somebody more committed to getting his body in a certain shape that it is than him, which means he's working on me now. During the pandemic, I let little things go because during the pandemic I didn't really want to go to the gym. So now he is helping me get to a certain place that I want to be, and that spells trouble for people that want me to come on a wrestling ring. Um, yeah, it spells a lot of trouble. Um, but anywho, like I said, one thing I've always learned, and also doing Muay Thai now, one thing I've always learned is that you can be confident in your abilities. And anything you do, you can be confident in. But if you're cocky, you come off arrogant, and you strut around like your shit doesn't stink, I hate to burst your bubble, but there's somebody out there better than you. There's always someone out there better than you. And yeah, I mean, there's always going to be somebody out there better than you. I mean, no matter what you do, you can go onto a gym and think, oh my God, man, I bench press 250. Well, that next guy that comes next to you could be bench pressing 350 or deadlifting 400 pounds. I mean, there's just a lot of different scenarios. And that's one thing that I've always been is I've always been a humble guy. I'm confident, but I'm humble. I don't get cocky on a lot of things. Not because I don't toot my own horn. I was taught by my dad. One of the things my dad always taught me was, son, there's always someone out there better than you. Because I remember he was helping me train for baseball back then, and he's like, look, and I'll admit, when I got onto the field, I thought I was hot shit. I thought I was going to be this cream of the crop. No one can stop me. And my first couple games, I stunk. I was humiliated. I was taken back. And that's one of the things that him telling me that really, really, really helped me become a student of the game of anything that I do. Whether it's boxing, whether it's wrestling, whether it's football or whatever it was, I always am a student of the game. I always watch things like a fine comb. I watch things. I see what I did wrong, and I see what I did right, and I always try to make my weaknesses into strengths. A lot of people don't do that, but that's what you do. So, at my birthday, there was a guy that showed up who was friends with one of my other buddies. And he started shit talking professional wrestling. And he started shit talking indie wrestlers and people who have gotten in the ring before. And my glasses came off. And I said, what'd you say? So I introduced him to what you guys, if you guys have trained at a wrestling school or wherever it is, you know what I'm about to say. Took a little bit of that spiciness right there in that hand. I said, raise up your shirt for a minute. And boy, did I leave a welt on his chest. And, honestly, that's the one thing I always hate people that think that, wrestling is not professional. Wrestling's not this. Wrestling's not that. Yeah, wrestling's predetermined, but injuries are real. People get hurt in there. And, Lord knows I've had my share of injuries in the past from it. I still feel the effects of some stuff. Like, for example, my hand right here, I really got no feeling in that. I can't go like this with my thumb. And that's from playing football and doing wrestling back then. So I got double whammy back then. So when you when I see people coming on interviews and I see people coming on there dissing independent wrestlers, I have a lot of friends here in Nashville who were independent wrestlers. I was an independent wrestler back then. Um, independent wrestling is where you pay your dues, and they kind of and they treat it like the old school way of the territories. Um, me and Jay, Superstar Xavier Michaels, we kind of alluded to that when we talked about the old school. When we did our talk about the old school, it's the yeah. There's some indie wrestlers out there who are complete fucking assholes. I'm not gonna lie. There's some who don't think their shit doesn't stink, and I'm sitting there thinking, wow, you haven't even been in the profession, you haven't even been anywhere big to basically come at someone like that. I get it. I get it from both sides of the coin. But with me, I always been told to, one, to respect your elders, two, respect the people that have been there and paved the way for you. Because when someone paves that way for you, whether you like them or not, they paved that way, which means you have that respect. And respect's a big thing for me. Anything I do, anything I ever touch, I always am humble. I'm a student of the game. And I always respect those who did it before me. It's easy to lose sight of that when you walk around and you haven't really been in the indie circuit. You really haven't done anything professionally. It's easy to walk around strutting your peacock. It's one thing to actually grind and work hard. My first time ever training, it was a hot summer day. It was about 98 degrees. And here in the South, it's like the humidity is like 110. Sometimes it can be that hot here. They turn off the air conditioners. And oh my God, I have never sweated. I have never almost wanted to throw up in my life. But you know what that taught me? That taught me to be mentally tough and physically tough. But it also taught me to, like, man, I was that guy that, used to do wrestling, backyard wrestling. I used to do wrestling with my brother. We would put on our own shows back in the day, little paper championships and do all our stuff. And what was great about it is I thought, man, I could come in there. I know this. I could do this. I could do this. I could do it better than them. Man, there are some things that I had to learn. And one of these days, people who act cocky on here, you're going to learn your lessons. Karma bites. Karma is one of the most painfulest bitches you cannot get away from. No matter how hard you try, karma's always there to collect. The one thing I've always strived myself to be is very professional. Whether or not I've had a falling out with people or whatever the case may be, I've always strived myself to be professional. And yeah, Lord knows I've had some falling outs with people on here. But the one thing I won't do is I won't come on here and I won't start bashing them. That's something that I don't do. I don't play that game. I don't play games like that. I'm just shooting the shit here, guys. And I told you, hey, this is a straight up shoot. I'm shooting with people, and and then that's just how I'm going to be with this. Coming up on Thursday, I'm going to have the entire Body Stars crew on my show. Not just Superstar Xavier Michaels, not just JB, but the crazy and beautiful insane Courtney Peterson will be in the house. And Mel will be with me, so it's going to be a big star-studded event this Thursday. Got planned a time on that. Once we plan the time, we'll get that situated to you guys. Some of you fans on the wrestling show, you'll get the chance to see that. And who knows is what's going to happen, though. But the title is we're going to talk about professional wrestling as a whole today and what we expect in the next 10, 15 years down the road. So it should be an interesting thing. I love working with Jay, like superstar Xavier Michaels. I love working with him. Mine and him we got the same mindset to the business because I've been down that road that he's on now. So I understand it from a psychological standpoint, from a wrestling standpoint, from a business standpoint. I understand it. Me and Mel were making wrestling videos long before a lot of things happened. Now I'll go ahead and I'll clarify this here. This Thursday night, anybody that's been waiting for bated breath to see what I am going to do on the wrestling show, am I going to go with the Outliers? Am I going to go with the Body Stars? This Thursday night, you're finally going to get your answer to that question, to that illustrious big question. Is Kev going to go here? Is Kev going to go there? Or is Kev going to tell both of them to fuck off? I've always been a lone wolf, man. I've always done things on my own. That's how I roll. But sometimes lone wolves do get a little bit of that chummy chum. So who is going to be able to convince me to come out of retirement to get inside a ring? Who's it going to be? Place your bets, people. I mean, I was going to wait to do my decision, but you know what? We're getting close to crunch time. Matt, Jay and them, they want an answer on Thursday. And people want to know, am I going to be that guy that's going to say yes? Or am I going to be the guy to say no? But we'll get the answer that everybody's looking for. But that's coming up. I'm also promoting some other stuff coming up here in March. I have an interview with the beautiful, lovely Amy Simpson, who's a model actress. She played in mine and Mel's horror film, Myers vs. Voorhees, which is on my channel. Go check it out. She played Annie in that role. We're going to talk about some stuff that she's doing as far as movie roles go, what she's been working on. We are working on a Friday the 13th film. I just started working on the script for that about a couple days ago. And it's blowing my mind of how good this is going to be. I'm also training not only to just get back in the ring, but I'm training to be Jason. I'm going to be putting that hockey mask on for the very first time. And I'm a really good friend with Kane Hodder, the original Jason, who also did Jason on the Game. I met Kane at a bunch of horror conventions. Me and Kane have stayed in contact with each other. And I asked him, I was like, what can I do? And he gave me some really good pointers, really good advice on how to approach this role. Because when I used to work at the haunted attractions and I used to, I've done 2 or 3 horror films as Michael. So I've always played, Myers. I know Myers' psyche. I know the walk. I know the stalking. Jason's going to be a very challenging thing for me. But the one thing about me is I love challenges. And then that's one thing that if any of y'all haven't known about me now, I love a challenge. That's something with me. It's like a drug to me. I get off on trying to see if I can accomplish any challenge out there. And everything is great to be accomplished. Everything can be conquered. No one didn't think Undertaker's WrestleMania streak would be conquered, but it got conquered. So anybody that thinks that their title run or anything else can't be conquered, well, guess again. It can and will be conquered. Now, we me and Mel have slowly gotten back into the gym. We've slowly gotten back into training. We're also slowly training, doing some wrestling stuff together, learning new things. Because let's keep in mind, the last time I was in a wrestling ring, I was a lot smaller. I was faster. I was younger. Now I'm stronger and I'm bigger. I have to change my style. And I called up my younger brother, Hunter, who wrestled in the indie scene as Dante, who was probably one of the best high flyers I've ever seen in my life. And I'm not just saying that because we're friends, we're bros, and everything like that. This guy could have been probably the next Jeff Hardy, maybe even better than Jeff Hardy. Um, unfortunately, an injury kind of untook his thing, but me and him, he's excited for me. We've been talking about it, and he's like, "Go for it, go for it, go for it, go for it." And then there is those little doubts in your mind, like you're like, wow, can I still? I mean, I know I'm 40, but I ain't dead yet. Can I still do it? There's always going to be that lack of. There's always going to be that little devil over here and that little angel over here. And luckily for me, I'm married to both. Mel is sweet as an angel, but she could be as mean as a devil. Hey, she's a crazy woman, and that's my kind of thing. I dig it. I love it. That's just how it is for me. But yeah, we're gonna see. We're gonna talk to Amy about the Friday the 13th movie because I would love to have her back on there, and she's tremendous at what she does. So going to have that interview coming up. Also, I've been friends with this girl Pam for a long time as well, almost 30 years, because I knew her brother. Unfortunately, me and her brother were really good friends. He passed away in 2012 before he even had a chance to remotely hit 30. It's not a day goes by that I don't think about him. And she came to my party on Friday. It's been a long time since I've seen her, and I was like, look, just get you on the show sometime. She's done a lot. She knows a lot. And I'm like, come on the show. And she's like, all right, all right. She's like, I'm gonna tell stories about you though that are back in the day. I'm like, hey, you know what? Go ahead. I got nothing to hide. I mean, you can go ahead and say what you want. But I've walked I've walked the path. I've walked that dark light, and I still walk that dark light every day. One thing I want to say here, eventually I'm going to do a video on this, but I'm a really big advocate of mental health. I've suffered mental health ever since I was a kid. I'm not going to go into full detail, but I will just tell you this: I've suffered through it. It's been an on and off process for 40 years of my life. I still go to therapy at least once a week, once every other week. A lot of people think that's a weakness, but no, it's a strength. It's a strength to go and talk about your problems, because sometimes if you try to figure out your problems on your own, you're like, and you write it down, and you still can't figure it out, but you need someone else to kind of help you go guide to that situation. So, yeah, I got some issues. I mean, I got ADD, I got anxiety issues, I got anger issues, I got depression. I mean, not really depressed like I used to be, but there's issues there that are still brewing, even from my childhood. And a lot of that stems. A lot of people who do have mental health, from what I've gathered from me personally, and me and Mel having friends that have had this problem, a lot of the problems is that it stems from childhood, or it stems from something that happened to them in their childhood, and it changes you as an adult, but it still lingers. It's like that little buzzing bug that just won't go away, even how much you thump it out of the way, ray that motherfucker with spray and stuff like that. It's still there. So and one of the reasons why I had the old YouTube channel, I had my old YouTube channel at one point, Kev's Point of View. Um, I have some really high subscribers, but I was going through such a real dark path that I felt like it was best for me to step away for a while, and it was the best decision I done because now that I've gotten older, I can handle certain things. I can handle um, adversity more. There's not. Let me just clarify that. Last year, I watched I watched Mel lose not one of her grandmothers, but both in a month span, and I almost lost my dad, who's been like my hero. I almost lost my dad around this time last year, and it was a big snowstorm here. We couldn't even get to him. He was in the hospital. Mel's grandmother was dying. Um, if you talk about adversity, that's some adversity right there. Um, there was a point there where there was a point in my life where me and Mel were down on our lucks, and we had to fight, scratch and claw, and there's a lot of adversity, but it makes you a tougher person. Um, Life is probably the worst enemy you've ever had in your life because life hits harder than anything that you will ever do in your life, no matter what it is. You can get into a bar fight, you can get into the ring, you can get into the football field. It doesn't matter. But life will knock you the fuck out. But it's not about, and to quote Rocky and Rocky Balboa, to quote Sylvester Stallone, it ain't about how hard you get hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. And that is what I've been doing the last couple of years. I've just been moving forward. Um, some days I wake up, I'm feel great. Other days I wake up, I just don't want to wake up, and I just don't want to be bothered. And I feel an anxiety will make you feel things in your body that you never felt before. Um, that's why it's very important to nutrition your body, not just from what kind of drinks you put in your body, but what kind of food you put in your body. That's one thing I've learned is certain foods can trigger stuff, certain drinks can trigger stuff. So you have to kind of not only just meditate your body, not only working out, not only all that, but you gotta your body's a well tuned machine. So you have to put certain things in there that are good for you. And I've realized over time, now turning 40, I have to kind of change a little bit of, gotta turn that thing a little bit there and become a little bit different. Um, it's not an easy process. I mean, Mel can tell you, I'm one of the hardest people in the world to live with. It's an uphill battle sometimes for her. And I feel bad for that because it's one of those things where I can be the nicest guy in the world, as she says, and I quote, "You are like Bruce Banner Hulk." Right now, you see Bruce Banner. There's that green guy that lingers. Sometimes he comes out, and sometimes it's just not pretty. And I've done a really good job of in, keeping him in. So that's why when I got offered this chance to possibly get into the ring with the wrestling show and get in the ring with these guys, and Matt and Cade and all them, I'm chomping at the bits for it because it's something that I would need. I need an outlet to let some aggression out. I mean, that's just, I think we all do. We all need to find something that we can let an aggression out. Some people like reading books, some people like movies. I'm a music guy. I love my music. I love writing. I love my. Any of y'all are on my Facebook, you know I love painting. Painting's one of the things that I love to do. The gym is like my iron paradise. If I didn't have my gym, if I didn't have some sort of workout equipment, I would go insane. And that's just how it is for me. I will go completely ape shit. But we're also going to be doing a movie review for the Batman when it comes out on March the 4th. Um, we're going to do a little bit of live thing before we go to it, and then we're going to do a movie review on that. It's been a long time since we've done a movie review. Also, another good show that's coming up is called The Wine Night with the Williams, which, yes, it's going to be an open forum, a Q&A. Mel and I are going to answer any questions. And we're going to have a glass of wine while we do this. And it's something that, be kind of fun to do. Also got some more funny TikTok videos coming. I'm gonna start doing some training videos on TikTok in here. So it's coming. It is very coming. I'm in the process of asking my buddy if he still has his wrestling ring here. I'm gonna start seeing about taking some bumps again and hitting the ropes and getting myself back into a swing of it. And I'm excited to, if he does have it, thank God, because that way I can be like, all right, I'm ready to go. Um, One thing about me though is when I do something, I don't do something half-ass. And that's one thing about me. And that's one thing you'll learn more about me if you sub to me. If you sub to me so far, I appreciate it. For the people who haven't subbed to me, the one thing you will know about me is I don't do videos and I don't do reviews. And I don't do panels half-ass. I do my research. I stay involved. I stay in the know, and I don't give you, shitty quality, so to speak. Oh, talking about shooting the shit, and I'm gonna lay back for this one. I'm gonna lay back for this one. We're shooting the shit, right? We're all cool. We're all good, right? Let's lay back. It's a Monday morning. Let's lay back here now. The whole Spotify thing. I know I have Spotify. I know majority of y'all probably might have Spotify. I don't. I'm not, I'm just clarifying here. I have a huge problem with Neil Young, and now I won't even listen to a new. I won't even listen to a Neil Young song anymore. I'm more of a. I won't do it because regardless of not if any of y'all like Joe Rogan, and I hope YouTube doesn't flag me for this, but it does say in the Constitution we have a thing called the right of free speech, like how the media likes to say they have the freedom of press, right? Well, Joe Rogan is a radio analyst. He's got his own talk show, but he also works for the UFC. He has that right to bring in anybody that he wants on his show. He has every right to talk about what he wants to talk about. And for the fact of the matter is that Spotify, some of these guys are trying to get him banned from Spotify. And they're like, well, if you won't do it, then take my music. Bye. Bye, Felicia. Go. No one gave a fuck about you anyways, Neil Young. I certainly don't. You leaving Spotify does not hurt my feelings at all. Spotify is a very good thing for musicians. It's a very good thing for singers and songwriters because it gives people more of a chance to explore your content more. But I know people. We live in a world now where everything's digital. Everything is different forms of stuff, and it's some people don't like that. Some people do. Um, I look at it like this: if ABC and CNN can go on their stuff and talk about whatever the hell they want to talk about, and most of it's garbage, then Joe Rogan should have that same rights and privileges as they do to talk about the same thing. So it's a two way street. You can't have your cake and eat it too. There has to be that bridge. And for guys like Neil Young to come on there and going, you know, and all these older singers are coming on there thinking that they now can own Spotify and put Spotify in a corner. Spotify is $1 million billion corporation. I don't think they're going to hurt if a couple singers leave Spotify. It's not going to hurt them. You're not doing anything but making yourself look like a jackass by doing it. But any event, I don't want to shoot the shit too much because I'm trying to be a little bit respectful to the rules on here. Um, but I did love the halftime show. Dr. Dre, Snoop, Eminem. It was cool to see 50 Cent, even though 50 Cent looking a little bit like a dollar now instead of 50 Cent. Good to see Mary J. Blige. Good to see Kendrick Lamar. I wish they would have gave Dre a little bit more time. I felt like they didn't have enough time. I don't know. I mean, you guys can tell me in the comments what you guys think here now or later or whatever you want to do. I just feel like they didn't have enough time, to really do what they wanted to do. And I feel like Dre and Snoop and them, they didn't get a chance to really. Sorry about that. They didn't get a chance to really do what they wanted to do. I feel like there's so much songs that they could have done, like Eminem. There could have been a lot more songs they could have done, but it was really great to see stuff that some of us on here grew up with. I know some people are fan of the new rap music. I'm not personally. I'm an old school guy. I love my old school rap. I love things like that, and I'm just not. I really don't give a fuck about the old school. Come Thursday too, when I do the podcast with the Body Stars, there's a gift that Mel got me uh, for my birthday that I'm gonna put right here, and it basically screams me. Uh, um, a lot of people know I'm a big horror movie fan. I'm a big horror movie fanatic. When you see this thing, it is badass, and it's going to be really cool. I'm going to start putting more stuff on the walls here. Um, now we're closing our storage and bringing our storage stuff in here. I got most of my memorabilia stuff's in storage. So now I get to be like, hey, here you go. But any event, I just wanted to test the show out a little bit, trying to do some new stuff. I'm going to try to do some more comedy stuff, more voiceovers. I got a lot of good celebrity voices and cartoon voices I could do. Start doing that. I'm going to start doing a little bit more gaming, kind of reach the gaming part of the world. Start doing more movie reviews, TV reviews. I'm going to start doing a lot more paranormal because I'm a very big paranormal fan. I'm still working on the stages of getting my paranormal team together here. So that's a lot of stuff I've been working on. uh, so there's a lot of stuff going on and so little time. I mean, I'm telling you, once you hit 18, I'm telling you, for you younger people out there, if you hit 18, everything is going to go like this from now on. There is like no pause button. At that point, it's like clock's ticking, game on. So take it from me. The game is on. But yes, Thursday night, we're going to talk about the future of professional wrestling and what professional wrestling is right now, where we expect it to be as a whole. I love doing these panels with Xavier Michaels, very knowledgeable guy, very funny guy. Um, JB came on the last one. I thought JB did a really good job of, and I love JB. I love working with those two. I had Courtney Peterson on for an interview, but now Courtney wants to be a part of this discussion, and I think it's really great to have that female perspective of wrestling. I really do. I think that's a very important piece to this. And Mel's, got some opinions on it too. She watched it with me. She still tunes into stuff. No, I'll still watch stuff, and she'll still tune in with me. Mel's got a lot to say too. So that's going to be a very exciting thing. I'm looking forward to that. I'm also in March trying to work out something with Matt and Kate about getting Kate the Galactic Champion, the new Galactic Champion on the wrestling show. I know I did an interview with Nate the Effing Great, but now he is no longer the Galactic Champion. Mrs. Kate Jones, the Empire Jones, is the Galactic Champion and Internet Champion. But here's the thing. With the Galactic Champion, we got to put her on the hot seat, guys. Last time they had a little free ride. It was her and Matt together, a little smooth ride on that interview. If you go back and check it out on my, it's in my playlist, Inside the Square Circle. Go down there, you'll see it. Interesting conversation with those guys. Really great people. What's interesting though is I feel like that the egg hasn't been fully cracked yet. And so if we can get Kate on here in March to go 1-on-1 in the squared circle with the Galactic Champion, we'll put her on the hot seat. And I challenge her to come on the show and do it. Because I got new questions for them that I'm not even going to let her know what the questions are. That's what being a podcaster, that's what being a broadcaster is about, is asking those hard questions that people don't want to ask. And I'm one of those people that, if you ever watched the Broken Skull sessions with Stone Cold on the Peacock, that's how I am. That's who I am. I will ask those tough questions. I will ask things that are there. So hopefully Mrs. Jones will accept the invitation and come on, and we'll do that interview and stuff like that. I'm also working on trying to get an interview with one of the characters on the wrestling show, Masur. If you remember my interview with Crazy Casey, I had that rosary that was given to me by Masuri. He wanted me to kind of mess around with Crazy Casey. Also, too, WWE 2K22 is coming out. I like what I see so far. Somebody asked me if I was going to get it, if I was going to get the deluxe edition, or will I go with the NWO edition. I haven't decided yet what I wanted to do with that. But I'm excited because I got the new GM mode. It's going to be fun. Me and the 2K series have a love-hate relationship. And some of y'all that know my past know why I say that. I have a little bit of a love-hate relationship with it. But, I ended up making a mistake one time of buying 2K20, and I will not make that mistake again. So, in any event, we'll see. I look forward to trying to get 2K22. I got Madden 22 for my birthday. Been adding some of the TTC guys on their teams. I'm going to start, like I said, I'm going to start streaming a little bit more. Kind of hit a fan base with that. I love trying new things on here. It's like, I'm going to start trying to get more interviews with different people. Yeah, we're working towards getting even more a broader audience. And I'm telling you what, Uh, Getting back into that ring with the wrestling show was a big soul searcher for me. You know, I mean, the younger part of me was like, yeah, let's do it, let's do it. The other part of me is like, whoa, 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 hold up. uh, can I? Should I? I mean, can I change the way I do stuff? You know, a lot of stuff going on here. I've been brainstorming the kind of character that I would like to be for myself. You know, writing scripts and going to college for filming. I've learned to kind of come up with my own material. That's just how I am. Not say I don't trust anybody else with their material, but I'm. It's like I'm very close to the chest with myself. Um, I take my craft and I take things seriously. I mean, I know how to have fun, but I know how to take my shit seriously. So, anyways, let me guys know in the comments down below what you thought of the Super Bowl show, what you think of the Super Bowl, and in particularly, what's your take on the whole Spotify and the Joe Rogan situation and Neil Young and a couple of musicians you to my world? And remember, my world, my rules.